Mm. Hey, how are you? We are doing the chakra messages. This is going to be for the collective. So we're going to look at what messages come through for you. For anyone here, it could be specific. So if there's something that you're focused on, maybe that will come up in this reading. Sometimes that happens where a specific message here for you. Let's see what comes up. All right, so if there's something that you want to focus on, take a few seconds to focus on that and then what comes up. There could be a message here for you. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes there's like a specific message. All right, so what messages do you have for the collective? Which chakra do they need to focus on? We have Twin Flame coming up. This card rarely ever comes up. And when it does, it's a really important message. So there's a significant relationship that is around you right now. And you're wanting to know if this relationship has any kind of meaning. It's significant because it's coming up as a twin flame relationship. And while I know that a lot of you think that twin flames are like the end-all be-all relationship that completes you, from my perspective and my experience, twin flame relationships will change you. You will never ever be the same after a twin flame relationship. That's the relationship that is going to make you question. It's gonna change you. And a lot of times it involves heartbreak. These twin flame relationships, like gut-wrenching heartbreak. And I know you don't want to hear that, but I'm telling you, this is what happens with a twin flame relationship. It changes you. You will never go back to the person that you were, after you've been in a twin flame relationship. Now, you're being guided to cut this relationship out, like disconnect from this relationship, because there's a chance that it can be toxic. It's not the right relationship for you. Um, it's making you cut ties with the past. Maybe old attachments. Maybe it's making you think about something that happened in your childhood and how that's showing up in this relationship. Okay? And sometimes that happens. You might have a situation from your childhood that you haven't dealt with, and now it's showing up in your adult life. And you might not realize that. You might not recognize that it's something from your childhood that is showing up in this twin flame relationship. For some of you, books is coming up. So I don't know if this whole situation is leading you to write a book about it, about the topic. Maybe you like books. Maybe you work around books. Maybe you're studying something. That's significant. It's showing up. So it's significant. What else? If you've been thinking about writing a book about past, your trauma, your healing, that's a sign for you to move forward on that. For some of you, you are significantly, profoundly clairvoyant. You see things, you know things. I'm also getting like really intuitive. Like you've dealt with a lot of trauma in your past as a child. Like you had a very childhood, and even as a child, you knew things. You knew who to be around, and you knew who to stay away from. Like you just knew as a child. You're very, very highly independent. So maybe you weren't around the right kind of people that would help you to hone in on this skill, and you could have lost it in your teenage years, and then as an adult, like it's something that maybe you want to explore more. Again, coming up, like that you're a light worker. So when I see this, it tells me that you did experience a lot of trauma in your childhood, and you were very sensitive to energy, and you knew like who was bad and who was good. Like you could pick that up. And even though you might have went through a lot of trauma, I still feel like you have the ability to have compassion towards people. You have a heart for people, and you might even have the experience where you get treated very bad by people. People, will be jealous of you, will hate on you. You didn't even do anything to them, and they could be treating you like that because you just have this light about you. You draw people to you. You especially draw wounded people to you. Like people tell you their life story, and like you just have this thing about you where you draw people to you like this. So just remember that you have a purpose, and it's probably to heal people. And in order for you to become that healer, you have to go through trauma and heal yourself in order to become that healer, because that's going to be the way that you will know how to be the best healer, is by going through the bullshit, healing yourself, because you'll have compassion for other people. You'll have a lot of patience for other people. You'll be you'll be honest with people. You know, you won't be like, there's a lot of people that are, and look, success. Because there's a lot of people here that try to pretend in this community that say that they're healers, but really not. They'll try to scam you out of money. They don't even look like they're healers. And they haven't even worked through their own shit. But that's not the path that you're on. And look, Archangel Raphael is coming through, and he's like to assist you. Okay, he's here to help you to heal and to assist you on this journey. So call on him for assistance. Ask him to guide you on how to heal, on what to heal. You might not even realize what it is that you need to heal from. Definitely is something from the past that's coming up. And crown chakra is coming up here. So this tells me that your mission is to heal people, right? But in order to heal people, you have to heal yourself. You have to go through whatever trauma you have to go through. You might have already went through all the trauma. You might have, you know, had experience with family who betrayed you. Maybe you had a couple partners that betrayed you. You had friends that betrayed you, right? You had experienced trauma in the workplace. And so now it's time for you to heal. And because that's part of your mission, because you're coming up as a light worker. And also you are profoundly clairvoyant, which means that you see things, you know things. Sometimes, you know, you may have warned people and maybe they didn't listen to you, but you have the ability, you know things. So don't lose that. You also have Archangel Raphael here saying, hey, I want to help you. Call on me so I can help you. So he's here to help you from the past. And it could be from your childhood, right? Because I have this coming up. The twin flame is coming up. There's a significant relationship. Either you were in a relationship recently, or maybe it's been a while and you just never healed from that one relationship. Because that can happen sometimes. It could be a relationship from like 20 years ago and you still didn't heal from it. You know, you still didn't heal from it, and you need to, because that relationship did something to you and changed you. And so you have to disconnect from it, cut the cords of attachment from that situation. You got to let it go, okay? You might even write a book. That could be part of your journey, is writing a book. This is going to help people. It's going to help people to heal who are on that same journey. Visualize success, okay? Visualize success. The crown chakra is coming up, so let's talk about this, because this is significant. It's also part of your spiritual journey, because with the crown chakra, this is your connection to spirituality, okay? This is the seventh chakra. This is the last chakra. Well, it's not last, but the ones that we normally talk about are the 7 chakras, right? This one is right here at the top of your head. This is the chakra, and it's our connection to our spiritual nature and our capacity to allow spirituality to become an integral of our physical lives. So maybe you're struggling with that. Maybe you're struggling with having faith, with devotion, with devoting to any kind of spirituality, whether it's believing in God, believing in Buddha. It's a call to connect with spirituality. And when you go on this spiritual journey, it gets worse before it gets better, because you got to go through this dark phase. It's kind of like, did anybody see Star Wars, the episode where Anakin Skywalker turns into Darth Vader? It's like that journey, you know, like he was on this spiritual journey of becoming a Jedi, a master Jedi. And then he got pulled into the dark side, and he was very powerful on the dark side, but it kind of ruined him. He lost the love of his life. He's lost his children, you know? And so it was, you know, he had to go through that dark phase in order to see the light and realize like his true potential. So this is kind of the journey when you're on going through spirituality. Like, you got to go through that dark phase, but hopefully you come out of it with the understanding of that you have choices. You can either go on the right path or the wrong path or the dark path, right? And also you come out of it with an understanding of the importance of living in the present moment. Because when you don't have a strong connection with spirituality, we either worry about the future or we get stuck thinking about the past, like things that we did in the past and maybe regretting it, or we kind of relive it in our head, right? Maybe a past relationship, or, you know, maybe you did have a bad upbringing, but what the crown chakra teaches us is the lesson is to live in the present moment. And when you have strong spirituality and you have faith, you live in the present moment because you know that there is a higher power that is going to serve you when you need it. So it's like you have to have really strong faith and a belief that there is that higher that's going to come through for you and help you. Now, it's easier than done, but I can tell you from my own experience that I've been there where I've been in situations and I had to put this to the test and just give into faith and say, okay, I'm just going to surrender here and let God or the universe take over and help me. And so this is where prayer comes in, meditation, whatever you want to call it. This is where that comes in, and you kind of just put it out there and be still in the present moment. Being still is the same as living in the present moment. And the better you get at this, practicing faith and devotion, the better you get at it, the quicker results come. And if you never believed in miracles, you will to believe in miracles when you put this into practice. So it works. It works. It really does work. I have out in situations where I only had my faith to believe in. And I got results very quickly and better than the last situation I was in. So it works. And it takes practice. It does, because the deeper you get into spirituality, the more responsibility you have. It's easy. Even with all the knowledge, it's not easy. You get tested all the time. But the one thing is, when you learn to be still and you learn to live in the present moment, if you run into a situation, they kind of get resolved very quickly, because you're like, I'm not even going to sweat it. Because I know once I put it out into the universe, it's going to get resolved really quick, and I'm just going to be still and wait it out and let it happen. And you don't even get angry. I used to be so argumentative, like putting people out and getting like really, really angry, that I don't even do that anymore. Like, I'm just like, you're more selective about how you use your energy. So devotion, having faith, that's what this is. Having faith, ability to trust life. You learn to trust life when you have a connection with source, with God, source, whatever you want to call it, the universe. You trust life. You have more courage. You have more courage. You are more humanitarian. Selflessness. There's a selflessness that comes with it. Ability to see the bigger picture. Inspiration. Also, the crown chakra is connected to the muscular system and the skeletal system and the skin. Okay, so when you have a block in your crown chakra and it's gone on for a significant time and you haven't resolved it, you could be struggling with like energetic disorders, spiritual depression, maybe chronic exhaustion, and you don't know where it's coming from. You know, that it's not linked to anything physical, extreme sensitivity to light, sound, and other environmental issues. So if any of that sounds familiar, or, you know, you might have a skin disorder, you know, and then you're like, where is this coming from? It could be that you have a block in your crown chakra and for you to, that you need to focus on this. Does that make sense to anyone? Let's see what else we need to know about this crown chakra. Yeah, there's like I get depression. I get like some kind of depression, sadness, something like that. Some emotions, unbalanced emotions is what's coming through. Thinking about the past. Somebody here is dwelling on the past. Things that have happened in the past. And I feel like this could make you like depressed and not really wanting to do anything, like almost feeling sick, like you don't want to get out of bed type of thing, like you just want to sleep or rest. Like, you know, I do get exhaustion here, like needing a vacation, rest, needing to recover. And I get someone here trying to create stability, trying to create a happy home. You could be living with someone. Or maybe you did live with someone. This looks like it's a new beginning in love, or a new beginning, a positive emotional experience that's coming up for someone. Like a new beginning, maybe wanting a new beginning. Yeah, again, I get like new beginning, wanting a new beginning, trying to have a new beginning here. Maybe things were at a standstill, but now it's there could be a new beginning here with family. There could be a new beginning here with family. So maybe you were separated from your partner, or maybe things weren't going good with your partner and you're hoping for a new beginning. I keep getting, so there could be a new beginning coming up. Again, there's like 3 confirmations of new beginning coming up here. A new positive experience, trying to create something. There's something here that you're trying to create. And it's not going to happen fast, but it will happen like effortlessly. Kind of like when you plant a seed and then it sprouts after weeks. That's kind of what I picture happening here. Again, I get new beginning. So there's a new beginning that's coming up, and it feels like it's going to be a successful new beginning. And like you're trying to build something, and you know that it's going to require a lot of work and a lot of planning, planning details out in order to reach success. What is this message for? What is this message for? There's someone's coming in offering romance. Someone is coming in offering romance. A proposal or something like that. But very passionate romance. Just don't move too fast, or it will end as quickly as it started. There it goes. And it looks like it's someone who's coming back. So if you're in a situation, like I said, where things were at a standstill, or maybe you broke up with somebody, there's a new beginning, or this relationship could be coming back. And this person is coming in. They're coming in, and it feels like they have a lot of affection, a lot of emotion, a lot of passion. Someone who's very romantic. Ooh. And whatever this connection is, yes, it's reconciliation with someone. It will move into a relationship, whatever this is. But I get that building wealth, like this could lead to building wealth, this relationship, coming together with someone, forming a relationship, and like building an empire, building, being like a power couple who has money, who's building wealth, wanting to leave a legacy behind. Maybe you're traveling to Paris. Maybe they're French, maybe you're French. I see a twin tower there. So it could be that you're traveling to Paris, or maybe you're from Paris, or this could be New Orleans too, because I see the cafe. Yeah. So the crown chakra could be talking about like maybe needing to let go of things from the past, maybe something in your childhood. And sometimes the things that happen in our childhood, they creep up and show up in our relationships and kind of disrupt our relationships, right? So it could be something like that. And now you're needing to work on those things so that when this relationship comes up, it's not interfering. But it keeps getting like new beginning. So, I mean, it could be a completely new beginning from you. Maybe you had a relationship a while ago and you never healed from that relationship. It could be that you've been single for such a long time, and now someone's coming into the picture, and now you're going to have a new beginning in love. And I think this is going to be a successful new beginning, one that leads to building wealth within your family. You know, I get material wealth, I get material, and I get material stability, security, emotional security. Those are the things that are coming through. Yeah. Whatever happened in the past, I feel like you were trying to make something happen, and it, like, every time you tried to make something happen, it wouldn't happen, wouldn't manifest into anything good. And you kind of just got tired of, because it was so stressful, you got tired of putting so much energy into something that wouldn't work out, and so you put an end to it. Yep. So yeah, and I feel like it's somebody from the past that's coming back. This person looks like they wear a uniform, or they dress nice. I see like uniform though. It looks like they have a uniform on. And I feel like it's someone from your past who's coming back. Now, you may not have necessarily had a relationship. You know, sometimes there's people in our life, like people that we meet, and maybe we like them, but we never have a relationship with them. So it could be somebody that is coming back, or it could be somebody that you did have some kind of connection with. And this is somebody who looks stability. Like, this is somebody who's very ambitious. They work hard. They want to be successful. This is somebody who likes being in a relationship because it signifies stability. Like, it makes them look like they're stable. So the relationship, that's who it looks like is coming back. They could be an earth sign, Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. And I feel like they wear a uniform. Yeah. All right, that is all that I have for you today. That is your daily message. And the chakra that came out was the crown chakra. And let's see. Like I said, the crown chakra is connected to your spirituality. So it's good to have a good connection with spirituality. And it's about letting yourself have, it's about allowing like spirituality to become an integral part of your life. Like, it's part of your everyday living. You know, how there's people that first thing they do when they get up in the morning is they meditate. Like, it's that, like, making it an integral part of your life. 5 minutes in the morning of meditating. You can go 5 minutes, you can do an hour. What I used to do, I started off 3 minutes meditating, and I would also do chanting. I knew so many Kundalini chants, and there's so many different ones for like any issue that you have. You could chant this Kundalini chant, and they're so powerful. Like, when you start momentum, when you do it every day, you build that momentum. And chants, like when you chant and meditate at the same time, like, it is insane how quickly your intuition activates, and you just start downloading all this information. Like, you just know things. So I went from 3 minutes doing this for an hour, and I would not start my day until I did an hour of chanting. And I know my neighbors probably thought I was crazy, but I did this every day. Not that I was like super loud, but like, you know, the walls are thin, your neighbors can hear you. I know my upstairs neighbors hear me. But I did this every day. I started off 3 minutes, then I worked up to 7 minutes, then I did 11 minutes. Some chants you're recommended to do for 11 minutes, but then I worked my way all the way up to an hour. Every day I did this. And when I did this, my life completely changed. Like, it completely changed. And I saw how effective chanting and meditating was, and activate my intuition. Like, my intuition was just so on point. I knew things. I knew when things were gonna happen. It's just crazy. So when you create that kind of life and you integrate your spirituality like that, and you take up some, you know, whatever kind of practice you want to do, it's just, you know, it's good for you. It's good for you, good for your health. And you just have an overall really good life, and you just handle things in life way better without stressing. You have more faith in the divine. Like, anything can happen to you. You could lose everything, and when you have faith in the divine, you just know that by next week your life will be built back up again. Like, that happened to me. Literally, I had lost everything, and within, I got everything back. Like, I was back on my feet. And it was just so crazy how it happened. But my life was spiraling out of control. Anything I could do was just have faith. And by the end of the week, like, I had everything that I needed, and I was back on my feet. And it happens. When you just surrender and you just have 100% faith, and you cannot have any doubts. You cannot have any doubts. You have to have faith. You have to have 100% faith. So, this is the journey of strengthening the crown chakra, going through that spiritual awakening, right? That happens to you sometimes through tragedy. You go through something tragic, and it opens your eyes to, if you allow it to, right? Because it depends. You can choose to be sad about it and be angry, or you can choose to learn from a situation. When you learn from it, this is how you evolve. So you go through stuff, and then you heal yourself back from it by yourself to spirituality, and this is how you evolve. And the deeper you get into your spirituality, the more you're going to be tested. There's even a dark night that you have to go through. Let me see. You want to learn more about this, if you're interested in learning Reiki, studying Reiki, and learning about the chakras, and how to unblock, I would recommend getting the book Anatomy of the Spirit by Karen Mace. I read this book. This book is like my Bible. It taught me to be a better Reiki practitioner than when I was studying like regular Reiki level 1, 2, and my master's. This book taught me how to understand the chakras more than just, you know, when you see a Reiki practitioner, they kind of just put their hands over you. Like, no, this taught me how to be a way better Reiki practitioner, like how to get paused and really help somebody to unblock their chakras. So I love this book. But she talks about here enduring the dark night. She talks about the crown chakra, and she says enduring the dark night requires faith and prayer, and if at all possible, a spiritual director. So if finding a spiritual director is impossible, you can turn to spiritual literature for support. And then she has a bibliography with recommendations for whatever, you know, books or references you might want to use. Finding a person who understands the nature of the journey can feel like finding a life raft. So keep a journal, record your thoughts and your prayers. Above all, hold on to the truth that all dark nights end with a light illuminating a new path. So this is like if you're heartbreak, right? The worst heartbreak ever, the most agonizing heartbreak. Like when I went through my heartbreak, it was, I thought I used up all my tears because I cried and I cried and I was so heartbroken and I was just like, why? And I couldn't understand. And I think I was like, for a year, I just hid from the world, just mourning the loss of this relationship. And I had to go through this dark night, and I, you know, journaled. This is when I went on this spiritual path, and, you know, I was seeing a therapist, and I did everything possible I could to try to heal from my heartbreak. And in the end, I realized like who I was and what I deserved, and that I didn't deserve to go through that, what that person put me through. And I realized like I deserve so much better. And I was like a little bit mad at myself because I'm like, I am too good for them. I don't understand why I spent so much time crying and hoping this person will come back in my life, because I would never take them back. After all the stuff that I went through, I would never take them back. I had to go through this pain, and it's like going through this dark night because you're being forced to evolve, and it's like you don't want to, because you're like wanting that person to come back into your life and not wanting to see like how horrible they treated you. So like it's painful going through this dark night. But I went through it. I have tubs of journals just from like writing, just writing. I have tubs of journals. I was seeing a therapist. I stumbled upon, this was like upon Kundalini yoga and chanting and mantras. So I started learning them. They helped me to heal. And then it was like I just transformed from like a caterpillar to a butterfly. And, you know, once you form, you're not going to go back. You never go back. And that's what happened. And I just learned that you have to go through that, you know, dark phase in order to evolve. But once you do, you will never go back to that person that you were before. Like, you are a completely changed person. You're so much more evolved. You're so much more smarter, and you know what you deserve to have. So this book really helped me to understand that, because, you know, it also, you learn that you can self, and not just mentally but physically too. Like you know, there was issues that I had. Like I was always getting kidney stones, and I didn't know where that was coming from, and that was coming from a block in my root chakra. And you learn that root chakra is connected to the power of family. So however you were raised, the environment that you were raised in, has an impact on how you behave. And so I had to deal with that. So just learning this and learning Reiki made me really go deep into my past, my childhood, my traumas, and to heal them. So, and I'm still a work in progress. You know, I know more now than I knew in the past, but still a work in progress. You know, sometimes there's things that happen and I'm still triggered, but I'm so much more smarter now as before. And I don't react the way I used to react before. I'm more calm now, and I'm more at peace, and I'm more selective about who I let into my life. You know, who I let into my home, who I let into my heart. And you know, I listen to my intuition now, so I never never ignore my intuition. Before I would get messages and I would ignore my intuition. I don't ignore my intuition now. I listen every single time. And if something doesn't feel right, I disconnect. And I don't care who it is, where I'm at. I just disconnect and you know, keep to myself. But if you're interested in that book, I will put it in the description so you have it, or I can type it here in the comments so you have it. Wait, can I type comments? I don't know if I can type in. How come it doesn't let me type? That's so weird. Why I'm not allowed to type in my own comments. That's weird. Right. I don't know why I'm not allowed to. What's that? Yeah, no, that's not it. I'll put the book in. I'll type in the chat if you guys are interested in that. Yeah, I'll just type it in the chat because I don't know how to type in. How come you can't type in your own comments? That's so weird. I'll figure it out. Maybe because I'm on my iPad. Anyway. All right, guys, that is all that I have for today. I'll be back on tomorrow for the daily chakra messages. Okay, I hope you guys were able to get something from this. This was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe and share and comment if you want. And if anybody's interested in a session with me, check out the description. I have all the information in there if you want to know. All right, guys, I will check you out tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night.